Presentations. You may be asked to prepare a presentation for other people in your organization or for clients. Work presentations are primarily designed to inform and persuade, rather than to entertain and inspire. They are given to small groups in a small setting, not to crowds in an auditorium. They tend to be detail-focused and data-intensive, with assertions proven with facts and less of a reliance on anecdotes. And finally, they are rooted in a clear, logical structure, as opposed to a performance. The keys to a successful presentation are to be prepared, which includes having a backup plan if your presentation cannot be shared how or when you initially intended. Know your audience and what they want or need to know. And be knowledgeable about the information you are sharing. Your first task, after understanding who your audience will be and what they need to know, is to be sure of where the presentation will be held and what resources you will have available to you. Consider things such as, will you have access to the internet and the technical equipment necessary to show a brief visual presentation using software such as a PowerPoint, Prezi, GoToMeeting, or others? Would it be better to have handouts alone? And how long will you have for your presentation? Once you know who is your audience, what they need to know, and how you will present the information, you are ready to research the topic and prepare your presentation. Be sure you cite any resources you use when compiling your data and other information. If the length of your presentation is left up to you, you should plan on taking about 10 minutes, allowing 5 minutes for questions and answers. Your presentation should have an opening, a body, and a closing. The opening will be a short explanation of why the briefing is being held or a problem statement describing the situation you are there to address. Do not spend too much time on your introduction. Keep it concise but clear. You will find that presentation software often helps you make a greater impact. If you are using presentation software, limit the number of slides, including those on a laptop, to 8 or 10. Keep your slides easy to read. However, easy to read does not mean simple. It means that you write with clarity. Your slides should be clear, which is more useful than simple. More times, this will require more than 8 words in a photo. Maybe a graph and some data is more appropriate. Remember, if it's for internal use, you can send the presentation around after the fact, which is all the more reason to include more information and not less. Your audience will need the details that you include on the slides. Make sure the slides contain a single core message in the headline, with evidence supporting the main idea. Use a minimalist presentation design to focus the audience on the points you are making, not on how pretty your slide deck is. Display quantitative data and other evidence in simple and clean charts. Include enough text so that the presentation can be read and understood by your audience, either before or after the meeting. And remember that your slides are for the audience, and you should be able to make your presentation with or without them. Be prepared to present without your slides. Finally, your ending will be used to rehash the key points and close with a statement that summarizes the main goal of the presentation. Don't forget to include time for questions. While you will not be able to anticipate every question your audience could ask, you should try to prepare for some questions that you might expect. Regardless of what resources you have for your presentation, here are some general tips about presenting. Maintain good posture, speak clearly and not too fast, focus on the message, and maintain eye contact with the audience. Rehearse before your presentation. Practicing will help you remember what you need to say. While practicing, use a stopwatch to get your timing down. Timing your presentation will also help you gauge the right tempo for speaking. And remember that breathing is incredibly important to presentation delivery, so make sure you're breathing slowly and fully and giving yourself time to pause. Stay calm and find ways to enjoy your presentation. It will be stronger as a result. Remember, while you probably have experience creating presentations for school, it is important to understand that a briefing prepared for your employer will be attended by professionals who may make decisions based on your research. You will want to put your best effort into researching your topic and practicing your presentation.